Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am excited. Get your notebook, get your pen. I'm giving everybody 30 seconds to join, guys. And tonight, I want to start with the hard truth. Most entrepreneurs don't want to hear you do not get denied for business funding because you are broke. Come on, somebody. You get denied because lenders don't understand your business yet. I've seen so many people who are making money get rejected. And I've seen businesses with less revenue get approved for six figures. So that is what we are going to fix tonight. How to get approved for funding for your business, a step-by-step strategy. And understand that banks are not judging you by how hard you work. They are measuring how predictable you look on paper. Come on, somebody. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. Look, let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, guys. I'm excited. I have a lot of information to share. Get your notebook, get your pen, put this on the TV screen, get yourself some snacks. Tonight is a learning, teaching workshop, okay? And so I'm going to give you a step by step, guys. So let me lay the groundwork. Hey, Wealth Warriors, and say hello to me. I love for this is going to be a live free training. I'm giving away six figures worth of free game tonight. Come on, somebody. Now, I love for this to be interactive. So say hello to me. And guys, let me be very transparent. I'm going to give you guys action items. I'm going to give you guys next steps. I'm going to give you examples. I'm going to give you tangible things that you can do as a result of this training to help you get in position for funding. Got it? Got it? Good? All right, so let's get started. And guys, say hello to me. Let me know, just because we also had some technical difficulties earlier in the week. Let me know if you can hear me and if you can see me. Okay. Okay. And so, how entrepreneurs actually unlock 50. Okay, there we go. Hey, Mac, come on, somebody. All right, look, I knew I wasn't going to click nothing because I ain't want nothing to disconnect. Hey, Wealth Warriors, how are you doing? Good evening. All right, and so how you can unlock 50,000 to 250,000 in business funding, a step-by-step strategy. If you would like $50,000, right? I'm a lowball it. If you would like $50,000 in business funding right now, put yes in the comments. I want to make sure I'm talking to the right people tonight. So, how entrepreneurs get approved, step-by-step approval strategy. Tonight we're talking about building position, which then earns trust, gives you access to capital, and scales revenue. Look, y'all said, look, you said me. Look. Come on, somebody. Yes, look, there go my Wealth Warriors in the building. Hey, love, hey. I know that's right. There's a lot of things. If you feel comfortable, guys, I love for this to be interactive. Guys, if you had 50,000 extra right now, right? Extra, put in the comments. Maybe we want to talk about tonight. I'm going to share with you guys some wise uses for funding also, because the goal is to leverage to build wealth, not to get into a bunch of debt. And that's a mistake I see many of entrepreneurs do. That when they do get approved for funding, they don't use it for something wise. It doesn't bring them an ROI, and then they end up being in a worse position. So I have some examples, but if you had 50,000, so question. If you had $50,000 in business funding right now for your business, for your side hustle, for your brick and mortar company, whatever it is, what would you do with that money? Put that in the comments, okay? And so what is tonight, right? Let me lay some ground rules. What is tonight? We're not talking about random applications. We're not talking about credit hacks. We are not guessing. What we are talking about tonight is lender decision psychology, approval positioning, strategic funding order. This is going to be key tonight, guys. Strategic funding order and turning capital into growth. Turning capital into growth. Look, come on, somebody. Look, you said real estate to rent out properties. I absolutely love real estate. Shout out to all my make real estate real people as well, especially when look what you said, you rent them out, so you want your properties to be cash flowing. That's a smart use for the funds. It's a smart use for the funds. And so I want to set the tone. Proverbs 13:22. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, right? So understand that income supports lifestyle, but wealth supports generations. Wealth supports generations, right? We're building it, not a temporary fix, but we're building it big, right? And would you say, Mac, you said two new construction rentals. I know that's right. Come on, somebody. And so why businesses get denied. And let me be very, very clear, right? And let me see. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, love. So let me be very clear tonight, guys. I'm going to also, in this being a training, hello, good evening, a free training, okay? In this being a training, my goal is to educate and empower you. And my goal is to give you information that's going to help you have a better result. Well, part of this is also understanding what the problem is. Might put problem in the comments. You need to understand why you're getting denied, why businesses and entrepreneurs getting denied, so you can put the right things in place so you can start getting approvals, okay? And so, why are businesses getting denied, right? Banks don't approve effort, right? They approve predictability and structure. This is key. This is key. So you are being evaluated on. And let me just come off real quick. Y'all, I'm jumping right into teaching mode right away. Look, what is the problem? I'm jumping right into teaching mode right away. And so these are the things I'm getting ready to share that you're being evaluated on, okay? So you're being evaluated on your business stability, on your capacity, on your credibility, on your cash flow, and your character, right? That is your risk behavior. Always remember that funding for businesses is a lot different than personal credit and personal funding. They're evaluating your business very, very differently, right? And so post COVID, and I need you guys to hear me. Post COVID, right? We are in a different. Can I teach tonight? If I can teach tonight, somebody put yes in the comments. I'm going to really, really teach you guys tonight. And sometimes you guys are even watching videos from 5, 6, 7 years ago and not understanding that the climate we're in now is very, very different. A lot of things have changed post COVID, right? So after 2020, a lot of things have changed. I want you guys to understand that as entrepreneurs, as business owners, you're considered high risk. I want you to think about it. During the pandemic, what happened? There was PPP loans, there was economic disaster relief loans. Well, why? All of that funding was to help what? Business owners, right? Small business owners are literally the bread and butter of the United States. And you Google small businesses, 500 employees and under, 300 employees and under. You know how many businesses fall into that category? That's why they even put focus on saving small businesses during that time, helping, because they are critical to our economy. Your success is critical. But during that time, so many businesses went under. Now, post COVID, lenders want to know that you have the ability to pay the funding back. Like you said, teach, right? The ability. So this is post COVID, what they are looking for, right? Hey, love. Hey, I see you. Look, come on, somebody, right? I'm so glad you could join us, love. And so that's some of the things that they're looking for post COVID. It's a little bit different. So you have to understand why you're high risk and also understand having the ability to pay the money back. So post COVID reality, right? These are some of the facts. I might put facts in the comments, right? Most lenders tightened underwriting criteria after 2020. If you are 1 to 3 years in business, you are considered high risk automatically. 95% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. So lenders assume liability until proven otherwise. Hey, author, look, author said facts, right? And so your goal is to position your business to look like the 5% that survives. Right? Come on, somebody, right? I see you, author facts. So your goal is to, so I put 5%. You want to be part of the 5% that looks stable, that looks credible, so that you can actually get approved for funding. Look, hey, Culture Music Group, I'm so happy you could join. Facts, right? I liked your Purple Rain shirt yesterday. Okay, that makes so much sense. Look, come on, somebody, post COVID. Now, I will say this. The other thing about post COVID is the e-commerce, online businesses, an explosion. My business 10x after COVID, after 2020. I'm just going to be honest with you, right? And so understand that there are pros and cons to everything. Jesus, look, I'm about to sip my water already. For those of you that are new, hey y'all, hey, I'm going to teach tonight. I've already started teaching. I'm so happy that you joined us. Please continue to enjoy this free training. For y'all, for all my vets, y'all already know. When I start sipping my water, baby. And so let me say that in times of financial distress, can I be real with you guys tonight? In times, think about Great Depression, think about COVID. There's two categories of people. There are people that it's catastrophic. It's catastrophic, right? Their life changes, their business changes, they have go through a lot of loss. There are other people that were in position and they maximize. Now, I'm not saying they're maximizing on a bad situation, but think about having an online business. COVID happens, you tighten up your marketing, your systems, your AI, all of those things. You provide a service that's of value to people coming out of that time frame. You blow up. Well, financial literacy, online business, because so many more people started going online to look for solutions. I saw a drastic increase in my brand. Guys, does that make sense? Like you said, thank you. And you know darn well you should have been watching that Wu-Tang on Netflix or whatever it was, Culture Music Group. Guys, does that make sense? Does that make sense? That in time, so this workshop tonight is about you now getting in position if you were not in position before. And your goal is to look like the 5%. Okay. And so who am I and why am I teaching all of this? I am not a content creator. I am not a YouTuber. I am a wealth building empowerment coach. I am an international speaker and a credit strategist. But more importantly, I have been completely self-employed since the age of 38. So I am not somebody that has been in business a couple of years. I've been completely self-employed as a single mom of 3. So my business survived before COVID. And I'm going to say this heavy because I'm proud of it. And it has not always been easy. And that's why I teach free trainings on YouTube. My business, I had a business in place before COVID and I have a business in place after COVID. So what I'm teaching you tonight are some of the things that have helped me have success through the longevity, through the ups and downs of everything that's going on in our world, right? And why does this matter to you, right? Am I showing this slide just to talk about me? Absolutely not. I'm showing this slide because I want you guys to know that when you're talking about business and you're talking about wealth building and you're talking about entrepreneurship, you want to learn from somebody who is doing the thing that you're trying to do that has the results. Excuse me, y'all, my asthma's acting up. That has the results that you desire and that has stand the test of time. They have not been in business for 6 months or a year. I have over 20 years of experience and I used to work for a TransUnion. Got it. Does that make sense that if you want to talk business and money and wealth, that you would actually want to learn from a business coach, a self-employed entrepreneur, somebody who has been in business for now almost 10 years, right? And so I can talk about the things that have helped me have success and how you guys can avoid some mistakes. So a quick tip right here. You said go get my papa. I'm about to, right? So a quick tip right here. If you have been following me for business credit, then that means you have a business. Don't focus on just the business credit and forget to grow your business. So the goal should be to scale your brand so you have a surplus and a way to pay the business credit back. Look, that makes sense, love? Look, that makes sense? Come on, somebody, right? And so talking about the types of lenders. Now listen, every slide tonight in this training is intentional. So if you have your notebook and your pen, put yes in the comments, right? And there are 18 people on here right now. Thank you so much to all 18 of you that have joined. I hope that I have 18 likes. I would greatly appreciate it. That lets YouTube know that you guys value these trainings. That means I'll keep on doing these trainings, okay? So there are different types of lenders. I want you guys to understand the pros and cons. So there are big banks like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, right? They have lower rates, but they have the strictest approvals, right? They want you to be top notch. They want you to have 800 credit scores. They don't have a whole lot of wiggle room, right? Look, Arthur said, yes, come on, somebody, right? Look, come on, somebody, right? You say, hey, Wealth Warrior family. Hey, Lisa. And shout out to all my Wealth Warriors on here. For my masters, we have our live private Zoom. Will not be on YouTube tomorrow. So if you are not a Wealth Warrior master, when I repost this, then I will post the link. You need to join and be a master to be able to join our private Zoom, which is tomorrow. All right. Does that make sense? Come on, somebody. Hey, love. Right. Does that make sense? Got it. Good. Now, I want you guys to understand the different types of lenders because there are pros and cons to each type. So some of you, right, you are actually in position, but you may have been going to the wrong type of lender. So I'm teaching already, right? This is the high level stuff that 6-figure, multiple 6-figure and 7-figure brands know. Actually, I'm gonna say 7 and 8-figure brands, right? So the types of lenders, the big banks, they have low rates, they have strict approvals, right? The regional banks, I love the regional banks the best, guys. They have a lot of funding that's not advertised and they were willing to work with you. And they're a great blend between the fintechs and the big banks. So some examples of regional banks are like PNC, Regions, Truist, Santander, Citizens, right? TD. These they have they're driven by relationships, okay? The credit unions, right? They have lender-based approvals, and then the fintech lenders. Now, I'll be honest with you. I love my fintech lenders. My fintech lenders, I have a great relationship with them, right? They have fast approvals, higher costs, right? So look, understand this. Let me say it right here. Shout out to Lisa. I didn't see her join. The other Lisa, right? We have multiple Lisas. I love all of my Lisas. So Lisa and her husband Tillman, they applied for funding with Rock Financial, right? Rock Financial was a partner for Wealth on Water Mastermind 2025, and they are a friend to our brand. She got approved for $250,000 that was direct deposited into her business bank account within 24 hours. Boom. Now the real hack right here is that she actually didn't need 250, so she got approved for 250. She only took 175. No bank, I don't, even the regional banks, they do not, they have so much red tape, right? That even the application, the review, all that kind of stuff, you're not going to get that with a traditional bank or a credit union. So the fintech lenders, might put fintech in the comments, the fintech lenders are going to be higher approvals, less documents, super fast funding. They will always beat the speed of the bank. They are going to have fees. There's going to be a cost. They are doing things that banks don't do. They are approving businesses that banks will not approve. So it's going to cost you more money. That's why I said, do you have a good use for the funding? Because when you get that money, and she had a great use, right? She had a pending contract, and mind you, I'm sharing her information because she shared this publicly, right? Chat, look, come on, somebody, right? You say, yes, I remember that, right? She has a securities company. They had government contracts pending in the millions. She has been able to scale her business now. I think their revenue was like 3 million now, right? Shout out to our wealth warriors that do business coaching and attend the mastermind. She was at Wealth on Water Mastermind 2025, right? And they needed the money to cover payroll. So they had to float it. Shout out to all my security companies, my home healthcare companies, my construction companies, right? What happens is, come on, somebody, fintech. What happens is sometimes you guys have pending things out there. You have payers, and you as the business owner, look, I work with businesses at all different sizes, from $0 up to multiple millions. Okay. That's why I can teach like this. And you as the business owner sometimes have to float payroll until those contracts come in. Well, do you got an extra 175,000? They needed 175,000 for the month for payroll. Rock Financial came through. They were able to get the money, cover their payroll. Then when they got government contract came in, they paid the money back quickly. That's called strategy. That's called a wise use for the funding. Okay. So a fintech lender. Now, did that money, the last thing I'll say here, did that money come with costs? It did. They're funding, they're doing higher risk deals. So you are going to have, look, you said, come on, somebody, you said, I got about 12,000 from Rock Financial for our construction company last year. But somebody say boom. Look, put boom in the comments. Come on, you can't even lie. I remember that, Cheryl, right? And mind you, one thing I'll say right here, and Cheryl, thank you so much for sharing that. Right? There's different kinds of approval. Sometimes 5 or 10,000 or 20,000 or 50,000 will change some things. You leverage that lender relationship. You get approved for funding. You get it. You use it. You pay it back responsibly. So the next time you go to them, then it's 20,000. Then it's 30,000. Then it's 50,000. Then it's 80,000. Right? And so come on, somebody, look, boom. Thank you for all 20 people who are on here, right? Could 12,000 help you right now? 12,000 could help a lot of people right now. That was through Terry's guidance. I just love y'all. And it brings me so much joy when you guys share, because it lets me know that not only my training, right, but you guys are getting this information and executing. So one of the biggest mistakes most entrepreneurs make is that they apply when they need the money, right? Approvals come from entrepreneurs. Well, approved entrepreneurs prepare months in advance before they actually apply. So funding is not an event, it's a positioning phase. I will always say, now always say this, guys, you would rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So in the time of your business thriving, right? Somebody put thrive in the comments. I want you to picture your business thriving and growing. When things are going well, getting lines of credit, building lender relationships, getting business credit cards, things where there's no payment unless you use the actual funds, not a loan, right? Because a loan is that where you're going to make a payment right away. And look, I have 20 years of experience. I can go all night and I still wouldn't be able to tell you guys everything. But getting in position to have some business credit cards, corporate cards, fleet cards, a line of credit that way. Look, come on, somebody thriving, right? That when you apply, when your business looks good on paper, you get that money, you have it tucked, you have it sitting there, right? That's your cushion. That way, if something goes wrong, you need to hire help. You need to invest in business coaching. You need to go to Wealth on Water Mastermind. You're able to use that funding for something that's going to give you an ROI. Look, come on, somebody. And if you guys see right here on the bottom of the screen, you can text us the word free to schedule a free 15-minute wealth alignment call for me with me directly. That's for my entrepreneurs, my small business owners, my professionals with the side hustle, and for my investors only, so we can figure out where you need the most help and what is the very next best step. Got it good. All right, so the approval formula. This is the actual formula, and then I'm going to tell you what to do in each stage of this. Okay, so your business identity, your credibility, your banking, your revenue, and then your funding, right? If you have the wrong order, that is denials. The correct order equals approvals, right? Order is very important when it comes to business funding and business credit. So one of your action items, somebody put action in the comments, right? One of your action items this week, right? At first I had in the next 24 hours, but I know some of y'all might be busy. My wealth warriors will be with me tomorrow, right? So this week, pull your DUNS file, check your business name spelling, confirm your address accuracy, verify your industry classification, and your business must exist the same everywhere. This is an action item, okay? Now, in addition to this action item, I want you to understand the address consistency. Guys, I did, and anybody who's watching, shout out to the 25 people who are on here. Congratulations for investing in yourself and getting some information to grow your wealth building. I did a workshop not too long ago about tier 1 accounts, net 30s, and vendor accounts. I will repost that for you all if you need additional help, right? The best help is getting business coaching or attending our mastermind. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't believe in fluffing at all. You can only get so far from the free, but baby, I teach. And in that workshop, in that training, I talked about the underwriting criteria. I have been doing this for so long that I can almost look at some of the lenders and tell you what you need. And I have lender relationships, so they share the underwriting criteria. I see approvals and I see denials on the back end. So this business address matching everywhere. Look, come on, somebody. Y'all said action. I see y'all with me. Hey, author. Hey, Culture Music Group. I see y'all are with me tonight. I appreciate it. So this is where business address matching everywhere. It seems small. It seems like it's a small thing. It is a huge thing for business credit. When your address is mismatching, literally I've seen people get denied for just that. Thank you so much. Look, Lisa said she is the real deal. Come on, somebody. And shout out to Lisa, because Lisa has secured her spot for Wealth on Water Mastermind. I cannot wait to meet you in July on Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas. Come on, somebody. Now, business address matching everywhere. And I just want you guys to think about this real quick. If you were to hire a daycare, or if you were to hire an attorney, if you were looking them up and their website said one address and Google search said another address, and then their Instagram said another address, and then their Yelp account where you put directions in it said another address, you would be like, what in the world? What in the janky? Look, janky. You don't want to be looking, is that a word? For all my newbies, I like to have fun while I teach, okay? Right? The business and credit is blah, dry, and boring, okay? So I'm about to talk my trash to you guys while we learn, if that's okay. You all want your business out here looking janky. Janky businesses get denied. Bars, okay? Look. You said, hey, Wealth Warriors. Hey, love, I'm so happy you could make it, right? All right, so don't be out here looking janky. Somebody put janky in the comments, right? So let me go back. So your business address needs to look the same everywhere. Your state registration, with your EIN number, with your bank account, with your business credit bureaus, with your DUNS profile, even abbreviations matter. Look, I love my Wealth Warriors. Janky. Look, I love y'all. Look. I love my Wealth Warriors. I'm about to get me t-shirts made. Look, at Wealth on Water, we're going to have t-shirts made. Say, don't be out here. Look, don't be. I said just like that. And I got 2 degrees from Villanova. I'm just playing with y'all. Don't be out here looking janky, right? It's a word. Don't be out here janky. Okay, so check your business address everywhere. I've seen people be denied for just this alone. It's very important for business credit, okay? Look, Keith said janky, right? Janky. And so one of the reasons why I'm focusing right now so much, and I mean this, guys, I wanted to share this code. There's a reason why in 2026 you see me focusing very, very heavy on business credit, business funding, and that also means then entrepreneurship, growing and scaling your business. I just did a whole week, Wealth on Water week, where I gave out some free stuff to help my people go into Wealth on Water Mastermind, and for some of our people that are doing business coaching instead of the mastermind because they're not able to, for whatever reason, availability, timing, all those things. Maybe they're not prepared for that mastermind yet. Right? I gave out so much free information. If you want business credit, that means you have a business. I don't want you guys to get approved for funding, never grow your business, and be in a worse situation. But now, somebody put now in the comments. Now is the best time to grow your business or side hustle, period. Okay. Period. There is so much opportunity, and there are AI, and there are systems, and the e-commerce has grown. Social media, organic content has grown. So now is the best. Look, now is the best time, and more importantly, and not to scare you, but to be real, right? What did 2025 teach us? Layoffs with major companies: Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, Target, UPS, GM, Ford, right? Many different reasons why there were layoffs, but why am I sharing this? Get in position now, build your business now, build your side hustle now, grow your brand now. Do not wait on one paycheck from one employer and then something happen and you and your family are left stuck. I'm being real, guys, right? I'm being real. Now is the time to focus. You rather grow it now before you actually need it, right? Grow it now in the evenings, on your breaks, on the weekends, right? That's a smart way to use that time to build it, and while you still have an actual paycheck. I am a single mother of three. I don't play about Jesus. I don't play about supporting my family. Somebody put support in the comments. I don't play about supporting my family. I'm a single mother of three. That's why I built my business now to an international brand. And now my give back is teaching other people how to take it from idea and grow it to $10,000 a month, then multiple six figures, and then seven figures and eight figures, where some of our entrepreneurs are now. Like you said, come on, somebody. We don't play about supporting our families. So one income from one job in 2026 is dangerous. Is everybody meant to be a completely self-employed entrepreneur? No, I'm not saying it. Some of you guys have amazing careers. You're amazing at what you do. Stay in your career and be a blessing. But don't you dare give somebody 8, 9, 10 hours a day and you don't take 1 hour to build your wealth, 1 hour to build your monetize your passion, to build your brand, to build your side hustle, to build one extra stream. Don't you dare give somebody else 10 hours and you can't give yourself 1 or 2 hours a day. I'm buying that up, right? So this is why it's so super important right now. And so in building your side hustle, ask yourself, what knowledge, skills, and experience do you have that you can monetize? What activities are you doing at your current job, right? What have you already been paid for? Well, what do people ask you for? Don't go into, don't do what everybody else is doing. Look and see what's specific to you, and then grow the thing that makes the most sense. And I'm not going to go into the side hustles right now because I did a whole workshop on the best side hustles. Here are 30 in-demand side hustles you can start fast. What do I mean by fast? I mean with low overhead, with your laptop, with your car, with your cell phone, with Wi-Fi. So you cannot tell me there are not ways out here to make money. I started making money on the side. I'm up to a couple $1,000s with Facebook Marketplace. I was playing around. Shout out to my wealth warriors. I was playing around and said, let me see if this works. I tried Facebook Marketplace as an experiment. I am now, well, somebody gave me a bad rating. I have to talk about it. Some girl got mad because I wouldn't sell her because she was late. But other than that, I have a 5-star rating, and I'm up to a couple $1,000s from just cleaning out my office and my closet. I'm going to leave that right there. All you need, look, and shout out to the Culture Music Group, who has not only a podcast and is a hip hop artist and has a music company, but he also has a cleaning business and also leverages his vehicle for deliveries. Smart, doing more than one thing, right? That's how we build this. So I'm not talking about side hustles tonight, but just know that there's different ways to do it. So I put 10K in the comments. Your goal as a business owner, your first benchmark should be growing your business to $10,000 a month. After you grow to $10,000 a month, you will be able to scale it to 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 and above. So your first goal is always that $10,000 benchmark because that's the foundation. Look, you said, come on, somebody, right? Look, you said, what did you say, love? You said there is money to be made out here. Come on, somebody. Hey, love, right? There is money to be made out here. 10K, that is your very first benchmark because when you start making 10K per month, that means you usually have the right marketing, the right messaging, the right offer. You even have some organic and some paid content, traffic. So it's very easy to just change one or two things to be able to scale. Look, come on, somebody, right? That 10K. And so your digital footprint, this matters. This all goes into your business credibility to help you guys get funding. Okay. So your digital footprint matters, right? Lenders will Google you. I have experienced this myself. I have even had a lender that did a drive-by to my office before. That was for a big credit line. They literally came to my business address. Okay. I was like, y'all did what? Right. So what does that look like? Right. These are tangible things. Y'all screenshot this, write this down real quick. These are tangible places that your business should show up. You should be able to Google your business or side hustle. If nothing comes up, Houston, we have a problem. Look, the lenders are looking at you like this. Side eye. Your business must have a digital footprint especially when you're looking for some big money. Okay. So what does that look like when they Google you, or if you Google yourself? Do you have a website? Do you have a LinkedIn? Do you have social media? Does you have a Google your business listing, right? Do you have a Yelp or industry directory, even professional affiliations? No footprint equal high risk. Just like you would not hire a lawyer. If you look them up online, nothing came up. You would not send your child to a daycare if you look them up online and nothing came up, not to a school, not to a university. So understand, a couple of small things can make you look very, very big. Somebody put in the comments, I can do that. Guys, creating a Yelp page is free. Creating a LinkedIn is free. Creating a business page for your business is free. So you want to have as much out there as possible when you're looking to actually capitalize on getting funding. Does that make sense? But I can do that in the comments. You can do that, right? And so another action item, right? Your personal credit foundation. Check all 3 credit bureaus tonight. Look, Arthur said I could do that. Come on, somebody, right? I can do that. And another thing is checking your personal credit reports, right? I can do that. Come on, let's LaJoya. Come on. That's my love. I always be seeing you on Facebook. Let me give my love a shout out because you always be on Facebook and you be tagging me and commenting and sharing, shouting me out and putting me in your stories. And I appreciate your support. I love your comments. I love when I see you show up, and just thank you so much for always being an active participator. I really, really appreciate it. I know y'all. I pay attention to y'all. You said I could do that, right? I could do that. I could do that, right? Look, Coach Music Group, he said, I love you, TT. Look, I love you more, right? I could do that. I love you. I love you back. Mwah. Look, we share here, okay? And so checking your Experian, your Equifax, and your TransUnion, right? So some of the guidelines, right? This is for business credit. When you're looking at business funding, right? Excellent is 760 and above. Excellent. When it comes to business funding, now I always tell you guys, your goal for optimal funding is a 700 and above, period, right? But this is what it looks like. If you are a 680 and under, you want to start checking. This is an action item. You want to start working on your personal credit. I just did a workshop. Look, guys, Jesus. There's going to be a shift in 2026 with my brand, and I'm working this week, and I'll actually be in Virginia this weekend with some leaders, and I'm working on some of the. I'm being honest with you guys. I'm working on some of the messaging and about how the climate is now and how I can actually help. Right, shout out to the 27 people who are on here. I hope you are getting value. Nothing I'm saying tonight is fluff. Right, these are all action items. So even in me sharing this, as I'm sharing this video, right, as I'm sharing this live free training, I have already put in place the other trainings in case you need help. Well, Terry, this action item was have a 700 above personal credit score. And then you actually say, okay, well, I don't have 700 above. Well, I just did a workshop 3 weeks ago on 5 hacks to increase your personal credit scores. All right, well, I need a side hustle. How do I start a side hustle? No worries. I just did a training on the 10 side hustles you can start immediately. Okay, well, I have some things in place, but I need vendor accounts. No worries. I just did a live free training on tier 1 accounts. Does that make sense? So you said, got it good. Does that make sense, guys? So the reason why I'm saying that is because the reason why I'm saying that is because if there's something that's going on right now, you said a lot of value. Thank you so much. If there's something here that I say that you need to work on, I actually have the free trainings already in place on YouTube to help you. But again, if you really want bang for your buck, then you invest in the mastermind or business coaching, and we can have a discussion around that. So if your credit scores are an issue, when I repost this, I will repost that workshop. Okay. So your action item, check your FICO credit scores with Credit Check Total, and or you can do My FICO. I like Credit Check Total because they will give you a tri-merge for $1. I say get your reports for $1, download them, and then cancel the membership. That way you're not charged monthly, right? You said always sharing knowledge. Come on, somebody, right? All right. And always remember, credit is not the goal. Credit is a vehicle to help you get to the goal, right? So we're leveraging our credit. So this is what I was saying. Your goal, right, is to always have a 700 and above. So that will help you with personal funding. That will help you with business credit. That will help you with real estate financing. I saw a bunch of my wealth leaders on here talk about getting 50K for real estate, right? So that is the foundation of looking good on paper to leverage to build wealth. And everyone should be able to get there in 3 to 6 months. Why? Because of strategy. And let me just say this. And Mac, I have to respond to your email. It's just been crazy busy. You do not need to invest in credit repair. I tell you exactly how to do it in my trainings, right? Or you can do a credit jumpstart call. But I do not recommend in 2026 that you hire a credit repair company. They are ineffective, they are scammers, and they draw it out. I recommend that you take a little bit of time to learn what you need to do specifically for you so you can get it done faster with a better result, okay? And for example, some people that I've helped, I got a 45-point increase, right? And you just spoke to me 2 weeks ago, 800 credit scores on all 3 bureaus. 20-point increase from the free content, right? Somebody put free in the comments, right? So you can get results from my free trainings if you execute. Plenty of people have done that, right? And so your business credit scores, right? You're going to use NAV to check your business credit scores. This is another action item, right? So the key scores lenders review. Now listen here. Listen up. There are a bunch of different business credit scores. I do not, look, all I said free, right? I do not. You can learn from the free. You can get traction. That's my goal, is to give you guys traction with the free. So then when you're ready to invest, hey, Catherine, hey, love, you already have some tangible results. And it's helped you actually grow so you can invest in Wealth on Water Mastermind or business coaching strategy session. What I will say right here is the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I'm gonna leave that right there, right? But this is with business credit scores. Understand that there are a bunch of different business credit scores, okay? You do not have to be an expert. I'm sharing with you guys some of the top scores that you should be aware of. Got it good? All right, so you want to check your Paydex with Dun & Bradstreet. Oh, thank you, Mac. I see you. Your Experian IntelliScore with Equifax. You want to check your business credit risk score and your FICO SBSS score, right? These are some of the top scores that people. Hey, love. What? Are you asking a question or are you raising your hand? Hey, love. All right. And so some benchmarks for your business credit scores, right? Your Paydex being at 80 and above is a good Paydex score. Your Experian IntelliScore being a 76 and above is a good benchmark. The Equifax, we don't talk about Equifax credit scores a lot. So this is why I actually also put that in the put a little bit more of an explanation right there, right? But your Equifax goes from 101 to 992. So lower scores mean higher risk. For Equifax business score, you want to aim to have a 700 plus, okay? And for your FICO SBSS, you want to have 140 to 160. That's for SBA consideration, okay? Now, let me ask you guys right here, because I'm doing another free workshop next Wednesday. So I've been doing every Wednesday at 8 p.m., right? If you guys want me to do a training, I'm not doing a full training on business credit scores tonight because I still have more money stuff to talk with you guys about. And I'm actually through some information here about capital stacking. Make sure you watch all the way through until the end. And if there's 27 people on here, I hope I have 27 likes. But if you would like me to do a separate training on business credit scores because you are thoroughly confused, then put credit in the comments. And if that's the case, if enough of you want a training on just business credit scores, then I will put something together. Maybe that will be our topic for next week, okay? Right, this is our community, so I listen to your feedback. Now, who could you bless if you were living in abundance? Because these are some of our wealth warriors that have really helped with getting funding and getting good credit scores in in a short period of time, right? 270 from Ebony. Sherry got $100,000. What's your question? Where you said I have a U-Haul question. If you have working equipment, but due to not allowing to make payments unless in full, but time. I don't understand your question, love. I don't understand full bud time and the amount never aligned. Do you know of any option? So let me go right here. I don't understand your question, love, but what I will say is you can join our Patreon Wealth Warrior community. We have a live free workshop. Maybe you can explain your specific situation. We're not even halfway done this workshop right here, so I'm going to explain some of the funding options. And if you go back to some of the credibility stuff, make sure those things are in place because this workshop tonight. Thank you for joining and thank you for your question. This workshop tonight is about positioning your business for funding. So if you've gotten problems with not being aligned or any kind of denials, there may be something in these action items that you actually need to change. But that was a really in-depth, and I'm not quite sure I understand your question. So you see at the bottom where it says you can have a wealth alignment phone call, so you can see if you need business coaching or the mastermind or join our Patreon so we can kind of dig into that a little bit deeper. But thank you for your question, or maybe reframe that so I can understand what you're asking. All right, author said credit. All right, business credit scores, got it, good. All right. And so when you have business credit, you can do things like buy vehicles in your business name, right? Something that I love to do. I've used my vehicle to get wrapped. Other people have gotten tractors, have gotten gotten cars in their business name. Alexis, one of our business owners bought one of her business partners a car. Marie used $25,000 to get a business tractor. So I'm just sharing this because we're always supposed to be using our credit for income producing information and income producing assets. Searching for an option now, urgent matter. So when I post the links, when I repost this and in all my videos, it has the links for our 680 program and for our Rock Financial. So you can feel free to apply for funding because somebody from our funding team will get back to you right away. If you're in position for funding, right? If you've been following along, one of our wealth leaders just got approved for $250,000 and had the money in 24 hours. So I help people get funding fast, but you must go through the avenues that actually apply for funding. So we'd be happy to help you. I'd be happy to help you. I'm going to go ahead and apply for the 680 program or for Rock Financial. I'll post that in the comments. All right. Got it, good. All right. And for leveraging credit for assets, right, one of the things I've done is what? Buy properties, right? That's how I bought my very first house at the age of 21 by looking good on paper. All right. Banking relationships. Somebody put banking in the comments. Banking relationships. So this is one of your action items for getting approved for $50,000 to $250,000. Go back on. This entire workshop, let me sip my water. This entire workshop is literally about what you need to do to get approved for funding. So if you have an urgent need for funding, or you've been denied funding, or you're unsure what to do, watch this entire training, do these action items, and that will give you some clarity and some next steps. I actually even talked about business lenders, right? So this is now an action item, banking, right? When you're looking to get approved for $50,000 to $250,000, right? Meet with your business banker at least twice a year. Look, come on, somebody. I see Catherine, right? She said, come on, somebody, right? At least twice a year. So you want to let them know what you do, your growth plan, and your revenue trend, right? And I will say this, that there's tons of money at the banks that they don't even advertise. So this conversation is critical, and it should be. Somebody put 2 times. Somebody put twice in the comments. Everybody, I don't care if you have $0 and 0 cents. I don't care if you have $0 and 0 cents. Meeting with your business banker twice a year should be something that all entrepreneurs and business owners do. You'd be surprised at different programs and funding they have available for you, and how your business banker can be an ally. Look, I see you, Catherine. Thank you, love, twice. Okay. Cash flow is king, right? What helps you get approved for $50,000 to $250,000? Monthly deposits. Tell lenders, do you have the ability to repay the funds? That's what they're thinking of, right? Look, I see y'all, look, twice. Meet with your business bankers twice a year. Now, cash flow and deposits are one of the things that help you look fundable. So you can actually, you're generating some revenue with your business, and then you're getting approved for funding to actually grow and scale your business. Got it. Does this make sense, guys? Right. So no dependence means to a lender that you have no repayment capacity, right? So you need consistent revenue. You need increasing deposits. You want stable activity, right? And that's one thing that tells lenders, helps them feel comfortable with approving you. What is this thought? Look, getting approved for 50,000, 250,000. Guys, if you have no revenue, then the lenders are saying to you guys that you have no cash flow, no deposits. They're saying, well, they did some stability stuff. They passed the Google check, right? They even have some things in place, but they have no revenue. So if we give them 50,000, if we give them 250,000, they have no way to pay it back. That's why I actually did in Wealth on Water Week some marketing stuff, right? Some things how you can actually get out there and start earning some money right away. Does that make sense? Like, have you learned something tonight? If you have learned something tonight, this has already been helpful. Somebody put yes in the comments, right? And mind you, I've already given you like 5 action items, right? That I want you to go back and actually do these things. Thank you so much, love, right? So your cash flow is king. Now, types of funding. This is huge. Look, you say yes. All right, come on, somebody. Thank you, love, right? This is helping you. You're learning some things. Perfect. So types of funding. There is a ton of different types of business funding available. I love business credit and funding because there's so many more options than personal credit, right? So term loans, micro loans, business auto loans, lines of credit, business credit cards, business corporate cards, equipment financing, SBA loans, working capital, asset base, vendor accounts, retail cards, fleet cards, cash cards, right? Gas cards, merchant cash advances. Guys, this is not even all of the business credit available. There's so many different types of funding. They all have different pros and cons. I already talked earlier about the different types of lenders, right? So some of you are in position, right? I'm teaching tonight. Some of you are in position, but you're going to the wrong type of lender. Some of you are also, you may be in position, but you're trying for the wrong type of financing. Maybe you're more aligned with a business term loan than a business line of credit. Maybe, you could get a business credit card, but you're not ready for a merchant cash advance. The different types of funding have different pros and cons and different uses. He said, always learning, love hearing. I'm hearing it and repeat so it can stick. I know that's right. Come on, somebody. You said, wow, I didn't know this. Yes, y'all. So let me put this back on the screen. And this isn't even all of them. There's invoice financing. There's asset-based financing. There's 401k financing. Guys, literally, Jesus, this is why I tell you guys, this is why I talk about business coaching and Wealth on Water, because there's only so much I can give you for free. When we have those one-on-one conversations, or when you apply for funding and our funding team calls you back, then they're going to say specifically for author, specifically for Catherine, specifically for Lisa, right? What kind of business you have? What is your need? What are you going to use it for? So they can then link you up. Well, baby, let me give you, so I'm going to pick on author and Lisa. So baby author is new in business like a year. Maybe he has like, $5,000 a month worth of revenue, and he is applying for a line of credit. Well, with those variables, right, he may get denied for a line of credit because of how new his business is, and he's not making at least 10,000, but he may get approved for a business credit card. He may get approved for a business term loan. He may get approved for a business micro loan, which is 50,000 and under. He may even get approved for something like equipment financing, which, hey, FYI, sometimes buying a vehicle is equipment finance. And put that thing on Turo. You can use it for DoorDash, for Uber. You'd be surprised. Nugget right here. I teach high-level strategy when we talk one-on-one, so I can learn the specifics, right? And so he was going to apply for, so with this example, author was applying for a business unsecured line of credit. With his specific variables, he did not qualify for a business line of credit. However, he did qualify for other types of funding. So it was about aligning his business with the correct type of funding. So a denial turns to an approval. Let me pick on Lisa. Let me give an example with Lisa, right? And mind you, these are examples. This really didn't happen. Shout out to my volunteers who are being volunteers, who didn't say that they would be volunteers, but I'm having them be volunteers anyway. So Lisa, right? Let's say that Lisa has high cash flow and low credit scores. Well, if she goes for a business line of credit from Bank of America, they're going to say no. She goes for a business line of credit from Truist, they're going to say no, right? Because she has low credit scores. But because she has high revenue, let's say she had a low credit score, she can get approved for Rock Financial. She can get approved for Headway Capital. Those are fintech companies. Why does that matter? Because now by her switching the lender, because she did a workshop like this, she knows her options. So it wasn't that she can't get approved. She was going to the wrong lender. A no for one lender is a yes for another lender. Come on, somebody, right? You said, this is too good. I will catch the replay. It takes wait, that and take notes. I have class tonight. Oh, goodbye, love. Look, thank you so much for joining. Okay. And I know that I'll see you guys tomorrow. You said, look, I'm glad you were able to jump on. I love y'all, right? Me too, y'all. Blessed evening, right? And so good, good, good. And so that's why this matters, guys. Each serves a different purpose. There's different types of funding, okay? James 1:8, a double-minded person is unstable in all they do, right? You cannot say you want financial freedom and you want financial literacy and you want a multi-million-dollar brand, but you are still practicing financial avoidance. You're doing emotional spending. You have no planning, no tracking, right? So wealth requires agreement between belief and behavior. So let's talk about, turning capital into income. This is huge. Somebody put huge in the comments. So you said absolutely. This part right here is huge. I have seen, let me sip my water. I'm saying this to you guys with love, right? I believe that iron sharpens iron. My brand is only for a certain kind of person who is building wealth and looking to scale to six figures, multiple six figures, and 7 and 8 figures. I'm just going to be honest, right? Some of you are brand new and just pre-launching, and that's okay. Get this training now so you can be in position faster, have a better result faster, okay? But I'm talking. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean to bang. I mean to bang. I mean to bang in your ear. But one of the big mistakes that I see is that I help you guys get funding. You get approved for funding. You don't have a good use. You don't have a plan. And now you've added another debt and you're in a worse situation because your business is not cash flowing. And now you have to pay off this extra debt. So you have personal debt and business debt. I don't want this for you. So understand having a wise use for the funding. I can't tell you how many people, I would never, ever, ever say some names, but I have some people that have come to me after spending $70,000 in business credit on paying personal bills and never growing their business. 80,000, 50, like I have tons. Look, when you know better, you do better. I don't fault anybody who has taken business funding and has not used it for a wise use. Let's turn that around tonight. Can I teach? Okay. And so when you have turning capital into income is what you want to do. Funding alone does nothing. Funding alone doesn't look. Catherine said, "Oh no, you'd be surprised the stories I have." Okay. And so, and mind you, let me just say this one thing right here. I'm not saying it from a place of judgment, right? But I'm teaching, I'm on here at 8 o'clock at night. I am tired, I am sick, and I am hungry, right? And I love what I do. And there's no place I would rather be than training and coaching you guys, right? So that you guys can have a better result. And so when I'm saying it, I'm sharing it. I'm sharing it because I don't want you to make this same mistake. Don't get money and not use it for something that's going to bring you a return, period. Okay. Because then you're getting yourself into more trouble. And funding alone does nothing. Funding plus strategy equals revenue. Funding plus strategy equals revenue. Examples of things that you can use funding for that will bring a return on investment: business coaching and events, marketing systems, staff support, inventory, automation, right? Right? Does that make sense? Look, does that make sense? Right? You said you are dedicated. Thank you. Thank you so much, love. Right? And so have an use. Funding plus strategy equals revenue. Remember, write this down in your notes. Put it on your mirror. Funding plus strategy equals revenue. Funding alone does nothing, period. Okay? And that brings me to a great use for funding: scale your brand, double your revenue, experience it at sea, right? Registration is still open. We now only have 10 spots left for Wealth on Water Mastermind. That is an exclusive mastermind for entrepreneurs and professionals who are putting in the work, but not yet seeing the income or time freedom they deserve. This is specifically an implementation-focused luxury experience that provides a clear strategy to scale your brand and double revenue within 6 to 12 months. And it's going to be aboard a 4-night Royal Caribbean Bahama cruise led by industry experts. If you want more information about Wealth on Water, if you want to see if that's the right fit for you, schedule your wealth alignment phone call, right? This is a picture from last year, right? And your mastermind investment includes your cruise, includes your mastermind sessions, your Wi-Fi, our meetups, our expert-led panel discussion. We had a blast. We are only approving 30 entrepreneurs. We're only approving 30 entrepreneurs. We have 10 spots left only, right? So registration is about to close, right? And it's July 13th through 17th, 2026. I have to update this because 10 spots are available. You can secure your spot with an investment of only $297, and your final payment is due in April. So if you're watching this live, it's February. You still have time to make payments so you can put yourself in the room so you can double your revenue and scale your brand. Great use. And that's also a business tax write-off, right? So if your lifestyle does not change, will it be from a lack of knowledge or a lack of a decision? I'm going to leave that right there because all the information in the world means absolutely nothing if you don't execute. Amen. Right. And so one of your action items tonight, right? And I still have some capital stacking stuff to share with you guys, but action items, right? I said in the very beginning, I'm going to share action items through the entire training, right? You said bars, like Lisa said bars, right? I'm going to share action items through the entire training. This is one, like you said, amen, right? This is one of your action items, right? Within the next 24 hours, schedule your free 15-minute clarity call, right? So we can determine your next best step, whether it's Wealth on Water Mastermind, which is an implementation-focused luxury mastermind, right? And the goal is to scale your brand and double revenue within 6 to 12 months. Or if the best next step is investing in a business coaching strategy session, right? That is a private 60-minute business Zoom with me directly. It's recorded so you guys can have the playback. And that's to give you a personalized 90-day game plan and financial roadmap, right? So everybody has an action item. Capital stacking. Somebody put in the comments, show me the money. Show me the money. Y'all, I'm really mad that I'm wearing purple and the background is purple and that this Terry Cowser, the credit expert, and the bottom is blue. I forgot to change. Well, really, I ain't gonna blame her, but I forgot to change the colors. This is really, I have OCD a little tiny bit, and I like my colors matching. You look, you said, I just want to say I have learned so much from you. Thank you. I appreciate that, the Culture Music Group, and I love seeing that your business is growing and thriving, and the growth of your podcast. I'm so proud of everything that you are accomplished, and that you're a completely self-employed entrepreneur. It takes a lot to be completely self-employed, so thank you for that. Look, you said, show me the money. Show me the money. All right. And thank you for the 27 people who are on here watching this live, right? Show me the money. All right. Capital stacking. So capital stacking allows you to get 0% interest business credit for 6 to 18 months. It is specifically with multiple business credit cards, right? And you can combine the limits and reach up to $150,000, right? So used properly, it is growth, right? It's growth fuel to actually grow and scale your business. Used poorly, it is a debt trap. Let me say it again. Used properly, this is a fuel for growth to scale your brand. I already talked about wise uses, right? Used poorly, this is a debt trap. I did an entire training on just capital stacking. So everything I'm talking about tonight, this was very strategic. I'm talking about the overview of what you need to get 50,000 to 250,000. This is a step-by-step strategy. If you start from the beginning of this training and do everything in order, then you can and you will qualify for funding. If there's any step that you don't understand, I have a separate training to help you do just that one step. Got it, good. I hope y'all enjoy these, okay? And so the truth about hard inquiries, right? This is part of it. Some lenders allow multiple inquiries, multiple approvals per hard inquiry. FYI, we've had Wealth Warriors get approved for multiple American Express with one hard inquiry. We've had Wealth Warriors get approved for multiple Chase business credit cards with one hard inquiry. Business credit is different. Now, do some of the traditional. I need y'all to hear me right here. If y'all listening, if you're listening, put me in the comments. If you're listening right now, because I do not want this to be misconstrued, because there is a difference between hard inquiries for personal credit and hard inquiries for business credit. Okay, so if you're listening, put me in the comments. Get a little closer, okay, so you can hear me. For personal credit, hard inquiries themselves are not negative. I used to work for TransUnion. I'm board certified, credit score certified. I have over 20 years of experience. I've been doing credit for thousands of people across the USA before YouTube and before social media existed. Hard inquiries themselves are not negative. Excessive hard inquiries are negative for personal credit. And I'm going to take this step further and say a hard inquiry that doesn't result in funding is a wasted hard inquiry. For business credit, they do not rate you the same way. Multiple business credit hard inquiries on business credit reports do not, come on, somebody, I see you, do not impact you the same way. Now, the blurred area is that for some of them, remember I talked about the different kinds of lenders. For some of the traditional lenders, like a Bank of America or a Wells Fargo or a Chase, right? For sometimes even for business funding, they will sometimes still do a hard pull of personal credit. Let me say this part slow. It depends on the lender and it depends on the type of funding, because our wealth warrior Lisa, who got $250,000, got no hard inquiry anywhere. Why? It was the type of lender, fintech. It was a type of funding, working capital. And that's $250,000. I'm going to say it just like that. That's the Philly, right? So it depends. I am not scared of you guys getting a hard inquiry. If you're in position to get a Chase credit card and you can get 2 credit cards that equal $50,000, 2 $25,000 credit cards, and they say, hey, we're going to approve you, right? We're going to approve you, Cheryl. We're going to approve you, Arthur, right? We're going to approve you, Chandra, right? We're going to approve you. But we need to do a hard pull. Well, if I have to do a hard credit pull, and the result is $50,000, let's go. That's a wise use for that hard inquiry. Okay, so understand this. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, put yes right there. If I cleared that up for you guys. Right. And so strategy matters more than the score, right? Sequence and timing determines outcomes. So the biggest thing, guys, is you want to be wise about understanding the approval criteria and having some of these things in place first. That way, when you apply, it is an approval. Okay. How lenders view hard inquiries. Too many hard inquiries, right? On your personal credit, they think it looks like desperation, right? You're a risk. Strategic applications equal expansion. Is an expansion signal. So you are telling a story with your credit report, right? Does this make sense? Are you learning tonight? Have you learned something? Has this been helpful? Are you learning something tonight, right? And mind you, you're not going to be a credit expert overnight, right? I have over 20 years of experience, but my goal is to give you some free information you normally don't get on YouTube, right? You don't usually get from an expert, so you can have a better result faster, right? And so why businesses stay at $5K to $15,000 months, right? Usually one of these things is missing. Somebody put one in the comments, right? And I mean this. This is something you guys have to focus on and ask yourself tonight. If you feel like putting in the comments, put in the comments, right? But one or more of these things is usually missing, right? You either are missing systems and AI implementation, the use of your capital. Sometimes you're missing your offer clarity and your marketing strategy. Sometimes you're missing lead generation or a sales plan. Sometimes you're missing that you don't have a coach. You've never done business training. You have no entrepreneurial experience, right? Money amplifies structure, not chaos. Look, I see you. Look, Catherine caught that. Put one in the comments. Guys, you have to be able to diagnose the problem so you know where to fix. That's one thing we do with business coaching and Wealth on Water Mastermind. If you have a great business and you have no marketing and no sales, no way to get clients and customers, no structure, no way to get funding, well, guess what? You can have the best and be absolutely positively broke, right? So you want to go to a multiple six-figure, you said, hey, Terry, I'm late. Oh, man, no worries, Angela. Look, we're so happy you're here. She said, she told her herself, you late, Angela. We're so happy you're here. I have a little bit more and then we're getting ready to close out, right? But you can have the best. If you don't have these things in place, y'all, do you want a big business or a small business? If you run it like a hobby, you will have hobby money. If you run it like a business, you will have business money. And I mean multiple six figures, multiple seven figures. And I mean that, right? I have these things in place. These are the things that have helped me. Systems, AI, use of capital, clarity with marketing and strategy. What did I tell you guys tonight? Can I be real? Can I be real quick? Somebody put real in the comments. What did I tell you guys tonight? I said there's two ways to work with me: Wealth on Water Mastermind and business coaching. How do you do that? You schedule a 15-minute 15-minute wealth alignment call with me directly, so then we can then determine, right? That's sales. Determine which one is the best next step. That's a clear, can I be real? That's a clear structure. I tell too much on my lives. I'm giving free game to help you. Then your next step is a wealth alignment call. And then on that wealth alignment call, we determine the very next best step to scale and grow your business. That is clear marketing, clear strategy, clear client, clear path, clear action item, clear outcome. Does that make sense? Business coaching, 90-day game plan. Wealth on Water, double your revenue, scale your brand. Clear. Does that you said be real. Is it okay if I be real with y'all tonight? And all my wealth warriors know I tell people, I practice what I preach. I am not going to coach you on anything that I know doesn't work. Not only am I showing you real time how to do it, but that is how I have an international brand as a single mother of three. I'm going to leave that right there. Right? So why, if you are stuck, somebody put stuck in the comments. If you're stuck at $5,000 to $15,000 a month, some of you still need to actually scale right there. You're usually missing one or a multiple of these things. That means we need to put a plan to actually get there. Okay. Entrepreneurs who scale the fastest have a clear plan before funding. They know exactly where capital is going to go. They measure ROI monthly. Look, stuck, right? If you're stuck, it's usually one or more of those things. I need to put that back. Like, I need you guys to really see this real quick. Your business or side hustle should have all these things at different levels, different degrees, but you should have all of these things in place. If you are serious, I mean this, y'all. So many entrepreneurs come to me with ideas. I love your ideas. I will help you. Can I be real for a second? I love your ideas. Your ideas are a gift. I will help you grow and scale your ideas. You don't make money with just an idea. You don't build wealth with just an idea. Look, a lot of people are stuck because you've gotten to the phase where you have the idea, right? You want to launch, but you don't have these other things in place. If you really want to be a wealth warrior, you really want to scale to 10K per month and continue to scale, you must have these things in place. What they look like for you, look, you said sip, 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 right? What they look like for you is very different, right? But you need to have AI and systems, use of capital, clarity with your offer, marketing, lead generation. You need a coach. You need business training, especially if you've never done it before, right? And so entrepreneurs who scale the fastest, they measure ROI monthly. Their capital flows with clarity, right? But their capital follows clarity. So some of your small wins this week, right? Some of the tasks I talked about that I want you to be able to do. I'm going to give you a snapshot. Pull your personal credit reports. Check your business credit scores. Verify your DUNS accuracy. Make sure your address is matching everywhere. Google your business. See what comes up. Do you have a digital footprint? Review your last 3 months business bank statements. Do you see deposits? Schedule an appointment with your small business banker. And you already see across the bottom, schedule your 15-minute wealth alignment call if you are ready to take action, right? So what approvals really mean? When a lender approves you, it means that the lender trusts your future, right? When they deny you, it's uncertainty. So your goal, so I put goal in the comments, your goal is to reduce uncertainty. Your goal is to reduce uncertainty. What is this workshop about? What is this training about? This training is about, how entrepreneurs qualify for 50,000 to 250,000. What did I say earlier? Without being smart, but look, you can't be janky and getting 50,000 and 250,000. So these foundational things have to be in place. Look, shout out to Allison. I see you, Allison. I need to get on these small wins. So come on, somebody, right? The small wins, things that you can do. You can knock off, what is today? Wednesday, you can knock off one Thursday. If you're watching it live, shout out to everybody who's watching it live. Knock off one Thursday, one Friday. I don't care about the weekend. Look, if you want some money, you do one Saturday, you do one Sunday, right? You keep on doing them. Right. Oh, shout out to look, Allison, my favorite Tumblr. So Allison made me this on her retreat. Ready, set, love. Then we're going to St. Martin in March. I get my plane ticket. I forgot to get my plane ticket, Allison. Um, and then so the goal, right, is to reduce that uncertainty, right? Reducing uncertainty. So then will want to approve you. Now, stop doing what everybody. Let me see this right here. Stop trying to do what everybody else is doing. Monetize your passion, build your brand, build your wealth building, build your a money maker, build your legacy around something you have knowledge, skills, and experience in, something that you enjoy actually doing. We are all business owners. If you do hair, why are you trying to do crypto? If you are an interior designer, why are you trying to do people's taxes? If you like to bake cakes, why are you trying to have a car rental business? If you are good with, resume writing and resume writing and interview skills, why are you trying to, be a personal trainer, right? Everyone is a business owner. Monetize your passion, right? Incorporate the thing that you love to do. Doing something, following trends will leave you broke, busted, and disgusted. Following trends, shout out to my Latoya, right? She always says that will leave you broke, busted, and disgusted, right? Especially because you're going to have ups and downs. So do monetize the thing that you love to actually do. That's scripture, right? Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. I like to talk. I like to teach. I like to coach. I like to speak. I built a brand around the thing that I love. The thing that I love is being on here with you guys. The thing that I love is the in-person events, right? That's one of the reasons why we even created Wealth on Water Mastermind, right? To be in the room and have that environment. So I took my knowledge, skills, and experience, credit, financing, funding, real estate investing, being a self-employed entrepreneur, knowledge, skills, and experience, and the thing I love, talking, coaching, being on here talking trash to you guys, sipping my water, and I put the two together that now God has blessed it into an international brand, right? I'm saying that because some of you are doing something that you absolutely hate. I don't recommend that you build your brand around something that you don't even like to do. Okay. So what approvals really mean is that you have reduced that actual uncertainty. Okay. And so if you're worried about the cost of going for it, you should see the price of staying exactly where you are. Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin, right? And so these are some of our wealth warriors who did what? Got the information, executed, are now homeowners, are now creating legacy for their families, right? What did we say in the very beginning? A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Well, what does that mean? You can't leave an inheritance if you don't take the time to build the wealth. One of the things about coaching, right, it's great when you know how to do something on your own, but it's a blessing when you can teach others. Can I be honest for a quick second? Some people know how to get the results, they don't know how to teach. Some people have done the thing, they don't know how to coach, right? Doing the thing yourself is one level. Coaching and training is so other people can have a result. Come on, somebody. I see you, Catherine, is a different level, right? A different level. These are people who took the information from coaching and consulting with me specifically. These are my clients, right? There go Melinda, there go Demetrius, there goes Miss Cynthia and May. I actually got invited to their wedding, right? These are our actual clients that have not only taken the information, but now have been homeowners that can leave that legacy. That's how my story started, with wanting to create, a lifestyle for my boys. I'm a single mother of three. I was a mom at the age of 17. I was in and out of foster care. So my main goal when I started my brand was stability. I wanted my boys, Tez, Devin, and Blake, to experience a different lifestyle than myself. And then what happened? God blessed it. God blessed it. And it grew into much more than I ever imagined. And we're still growing. Right. And so my final message to you is you don't rise to the level of motivation. You rise to the level of your structure. Tonight we talked about building your structure to access capital, to scale your income, right? Using your funds to actually grow and scale your brand, not just getting into a bunch of debt. Got it, good. Look, if you learned something on that training, put yes in the comments. So I was very, very clear. I was very, very clear. Business foundation, some of your action items, different types of lenders, different types of funding, different action items, some small wins, some tasks about, different lenders, where one lender says no, another lender can say yes, right? And look, you say yes, got it, right? And your very next best step, schedule your wealth alignment phone call so we can determine, right? So matter of fact, Allison, going to Wealth on Water Mastermind 2026. Lisa, going to Wealth on Water Mastermind 2026, right? Chandra, we would love to see you. I've been seeing you here. I've been seeing you on here every single night. I'm trying to see if I when I get off here, if I see a Wealth Alignment phone call with you, love. I see you. I see you. I see you. There's only 10 spots left, but guys, no, all jokes aside, it's one thing to start it, it's another thing to grow and scale it, and then for it to continue to thrive and have longevity. This season of Terry's Tips, of my YouTube, of our brand, is about helping more of you thrive, right? I've given you the foundation to start. I have free content that will help you start. It is that iron sharpens iron, that getting in their room and that one-on-one, like you said, come on somebody, that helps you then take what you started, come on somebody, and then grow it into legacy. Somebody put legacy in the comments. That's the last thing that we'll say. Put legacy in the comments, that will grow it into your legacy, grow it into your wealth building, grow it into your empire. It will be the thing you do that leads by example. You'll be leading by example. So you take the free to start, and then you invest to grow and scale. And then you keep on investing in your brand. And then the blessing is when you reach back, look, come on, somebody, legacy. If your goal is legacy, if you want wealth building, if you are the person that break that generational curse, put legacy in the comments. I want to make sure that we got the right wealth warriors on here. And shout out to my Patreon, right? We'll have our live private Zoom tomorrow, right? Look, come, there we go. Legacy, right? The goal is legacy. It does not happen overnight, but with the right structure, with putting funding in the right place, with the right training and coaching, with the right focus, you can build something long lasting and be that person in your family that breaks the generational curse. And so, your very next step is to schedule your wealth alignment phone call. Let's have a quick clarity conversation. And then I cannot wait to celebrate your success. Amen. All right. Good night, y'all. I will repost this. And Wealth Warriors, I will see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Good night, y'all. Mwah! Good night, y'all.